What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN USD. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It is the 26th day of December. 8 hours, 30 minutes left in the day here, sitting at $0.0046. We haven't done anything. It's been a week. We've been right here. Yeah, it's boring. It's sideways and very low volume, I might add. That might be some of the lowest volume yesterday and today. Really, this past week that we've seen in OnyxCoin in quite some time. We've seen low volume before, but just this consistent and just continuing to die off, man. I mean, really, we've had low volume since the end of November with just a couple of large spikes here in the middle. It's been very, very low volume times. We haven't seen a stint like this where there's such low volume at all. Like really at all. It's crazy. It's really freaking crazy. You know, whenever we were here, we saw a pretty large stint of low volume. Compared to where we are now, this is actually a lot of volume. And that was just our consolidation phase. Whenever the volume came back in, we broke out to the upside. We had a little bit of volume pickup here. You can barely see it, but a little bit of volume pickup here as we were coming down, but a lot more volume came into the upside. I want to just, again, before we get into the short-term stuff, because I don't think the short-term is really going to be that eye-opening, right? It's been sideways and choppy. I doubt that we're missing too much. But before we get into that, just understand that this from here, from this point here, let's even go back. Let's even do you one better. From this point here, all the way down, it took you 58 days. It took OnyxCoin 58 days to see that happen. Whenever that volume came back in, not even what we've seen at the maximum. It's about half of what these largest spikes looked like. It's not even close. Not even close to the same levels in magnitude of volume. When a little bit of volume comes in, and it's not a little bit, it's a little bit more than a little bit, but a little bit nonetheless. When that comes in, it took 4 days. 4 days. It took 4 freaking days from the low to eviscerate 2 months worth of price action, okay? I'm saying this in the beginning of the video because let's go to the last 60 days. Let's go from the low, right? Let's imagine that that's the low 60 days out, right? It's not that this is exactly what's going to happen. It's not that OnyxCoin will do this. It could. Maybe it does something more. But in 4 days' time, hell, by the end of the year, we could see a move that takes us back above where we were back here. We could be, and again, we know this is happening. We've got the bullish divergence on the weekly time frame, OnyxCoin versus Bitcoin. We know it's happening. We know it's coded in there. We don't know when it's going to happen. It'll happen any day, any week now, very soon. I'd be surprised if we weren't breaking out a month from now, but it could even be 6 weeks from now that we break out. Who cares? That's still very soon. Very soon, we're going to see a move much like this, which completely evaporates the last 2 months, maybe 3, maybe 4 months of price action. It's who knows how big this is going to be. And in all reality, the last 2 months, it only gets us here just below 1 cent. I don't think we stop there. I don't think we stop there at all. We likely, with this next move that happens to the upside, we will evaporate over a quarter of a year's worth of price action. We're probably going to move all the way up here. It's going to be intense. It's going to be immense. It's going to be stupendous at the very least. And why do I believe that's going to happen? If we look back here, and I'm just thinking, you're watching this video, whoever you are. You might see something or think of something that I don't see. I appreciate it if you share those thoughts in the comments. I know there's other people who read the comments who appreciate that as well. I don't care if you disagree with me. I don't care if you even talk smack, right? I talk smack back to the trolls, but there's plenty of people who disagree with me online who just completely say that I'm wrong, and here's why, and they give me their thesis. And I'm like, you know what? I appreciate your constructive feedback. Thank you very much. We are all, you know what? I did have that wrong. I didn't factor this in. Because you posted this comment, now anybody else who reads this comment while watching this video, they are better informed. Thank you for doing that, right? So don't be afraid. If you have information, share it with us. There are people who do digging, and do not think that you know something just because you read YouTube comments. But damn it, there are people who do want to help, who do want to spread information. If I'm missing something, please help me and help us all, right? But hear me out. If we were to stop 2 months ago, at that price action, that's only 100% growth, which is nice. It's a 2x. I'm not going to be upset with the 2x. I certainly wouldn't. In 4 days, no. I would not be upset with that at all. But hear me out. XCN BTC. And we've talked about this at length before. I'm going to give a quick, brief rendition here, okay? XCN BTC. This is not a pump and a dump, right? Pump and dumps look like that. This is more of like a pump and dump, right? This is more of like a massive pump and long, slowly down, very precise and well-organized consolidation. It's relentless. It's certainly relentless, but it's contained. It's organized. It's not this crazy. It's not this, right? We're down here at prior areas of resistance. We have our golden ratio for support right now, low to high. We're right at the golden ratio zone right there for support, the little white zone there. And on the weekly time frame, we have bullish divergence on the stochastics, bullish divergence on the MACD. If we can see it here, right there, bullish divergence on the MACD. Immense bullish divergence on the weekly MACD. It's beautiful. And we don't have bullish divergence on the RSI, but we do have what looks to be a kind of double bottom. You don't need bullish divergence to find a low. It's not a necessity. We did not have bearish divergence to find the high, right? All this together, even if we're not shooting for the stars, which I think we will break this high, I think we will get above there, but even if we're staying grounded to some degree, you'd have to think, even if we went lower, there'd be some type of retracement back, right? There'd be some type of standard move back before we go lower. And I don't think that we're going to go lower, or if we do, it's not going to be too much lower. But if we were to retrace this to any standard effect at all, from here, the minimum target that I would have in mind would be the 382. And that in itself is about 120%. It's very common to wick just above the 382, by the way. You know, it could be anything from about a 115% move to about 130% move versus Bitcoin. If OnyxCoin, and this is priced in Bitcoin, XCN to BTC, it's not priced in dollars, this is priced in Bitcoin, it's worth 0.00000000533 Bitcoins. That's what OnyxCoin is worth in Bitcoin terms. If it gains 120% versus Bitcoin, I would have to imagine, sorry, I think this is from a different video, that was all the way back here. If OnyxCoin is growing 130%, 120% versus Bitcoin, I would have to imagine Bitcoin's probably not doing this, right? Like it's probably not dropping. Bitcoin's probably moving up to some degree if OnyxCoin is moving up to some degree versus Bitcoin. It's likely not going to make that kind of move while Bitcoin's going down. Therefore, just connecting the dots there mathematically, anything that's less than 120% as far as growth goes is discountable. It's not something that we should focus on, right? And think about that. 120% XCN BTC growth means that we will see something larger than 120% on the US dollar pair. Well, if we're not stopping here at prior support, where's the next area to stop at? Well, where's the next area of localized support at, right? It's all the way up here. All the way up here. That's about 174% gain. It's also in line with prior resistance here, prior support there, prior resistance here, here, here. If we take the high from back in late January this year to the low here, it's also right there with our 382, which again, just thinking out loud, if we had a Fibonacci retracement on any time frame, it doesn't matter if it's the 1 hour, the 1 week, the 1 month, whatever, if you have a Fibonacci retracement on any time frame, a pretty standard retracement is the 382, which again, we've already made sense out of the fact that we're probably not going to stop here. We're probably not going to stop here at this level of support either. We're probably going to go to the 382 or higher. And it's very common to wick just above the 382. So stopping somewhere right around here, right around around 1.2 cents or higher makes a lot of sense to me. And that's only if Bitcoin's doing moderately well. If OnyxCoin pumps, if it has this move versus Bitcoin, first off, if it's a bigger move than I'm expecting, but if it has this move versus Bitcoin and Bitcoin's moving up at a good pace, OnyxCoin could go well above 170% from here. We could go above these highs and see something that's absolutely stupendous. I mean, we don't know what we're dealing with here. Again, the thought that I'm trying to address, what stemmed all this, is that what took 2 months to do was evaporated in less than a week, right? I would assume the same thing is going to happen here at some point. And the reason why I'm saying this, the reason why this whole video is focused on that, is because there's a lot of people who made the wrong decision over the past couple months. It doesn't feel like the wrong decision now, but I'm just saying, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Anybody who sold here, mark my words, one of two things is going to happen to you. You're either going to buy at higher prices, or number two, you're going to have some heartache because you're going to be missing out. And that's okay. You know, as long as you're, and this is where I think a lot of people will learn a very important lesson, that when you find a good project in crypto, it doesn't matter how bad the market gets. If it's a good project, if they're building, if you have fundamental value and therefore some intrinsic value that we can add to that as well through the dollar denomination, you hold on to it. You stack more. You don't panic sell the lows. You don't sell whenever the going gets rough. You only stack or hold. And a lot of people will learn that. And if you didn't make the bad decision, if you didn't panic sell at the lows, the good behavior that you've been exemplifying, I don't know, the good behavior that you've been enacting will only be easier to do the next time. It's been a long, rough, slow, boring bleed for OnyxCoin. And man, I'm still here. Anybody else that's still here, I get it. I get it, man. We've had our fill with this bearish stuff. All the meanwhile, we've been staking. All the meanwhile, wherever you bought, if you've been staking, you've been adding to your coins. So by the time you get back to where you are, where you first entered, you should be in the green. Not even neutral, you should be in the green. Let alone, whenever we break out here, just imagine the thought that's going to happen for anybody that's sold over the months. They're going to associate it with this move. They're going to associate it with this move. They're going to associate it with the breakout of a massive trend that we've been in all year. This thing can move fast when it wants to. And that fast move is coming any day now. Any day now. 1 hour time frame. I mean, it's, again, with everything, the US dollar chart, we know will pump. Is vivacious the right word? Vigorously. It'll pump in a very exceptional fashion because of what the Bitcoin chart is saying, the XCN BTC chart is saying. This chart is incredibly bullish. It's incredible, and the structure is perfect. It's not bullish to see this for a year of coming down, but guys, we've been moving down for a year. That's a bear market. We've been moving down for a year. We've been finding support now at prior significant resistance, at the golden ratio, with bullish divergence that's been building for about half a year on our weekly MACD and the stochastics, and a double bottom in the RSI. It's all there. The setup is there. We just got to run with it. That's all. Right? Notice how these candles here, bearish, 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 bearish. Notice how many more wicks we're getting to the downside here. It's a little bit different in this little segment. It's a little bit different, and we're at this segment where we're showing wicks to the upside. Wicks to the upside, we came down. Wicks to the downside, I don't know, just connecting dots there, guys. 1 hour time frame, very sideways. I don't even want to pull up the indicators. They're not going to help us. Neutral. Technically bearish, but what? 0.5% down? Half of a percent down? I mean, it's not going to be anything significant at all. 4 hour time frame, looking at this here, very neutral. Very neutral, very neutral on all indicators. What I wouldn't be surprised at all just looking at this. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we came down, we got the double bottom, and then we come back up, something like that, right? I mean, we've been doing this exact formation here. We've been doing this all over the place, right? We kind of did it here. It's a little bit tilted, but same kind of thing, right? You see the pattern. We did it here, right? Overall with this. I mean, maybe I shouldn't draw the spike, but just like if you look at it like this, and then coming down, doesn't that look exactly like what we're drawing here? It's the same thing. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if we got a double bottom, a slightly higher low, or even a slightly lower low, but something in this area will find support, and then we'll move up. Drop a little bit today, tomorrow, the next day, next week, 2 weeks from now. Maybe we move sideways for a whole nother week, and then we drop. I don't know, but I would assume we go a little bit lower than these lows, and then from there we will bounce. And this next attempt, this next bounce, because of how severe this divergence is on the weekly time frame with our XCN BTC chart, and even on the weekly time frame here with our MACD on the US dollar chart, I would assume that the next attempt up, it's the most likely attempt that would break us out. And again, we're at least, I would think, going to 1.2 cents or higher by the end of this move. Just because it took 4 days last time doesn't mean it'll take 4 days this time. Maybe this move happens, and maybe tomorrow we start moving up, and we're moving up at a nice methodical rate, and it isn't until this time next month that we're all the way up at these targets, and we're moving up a lot slower than we did before. But I don't care how it looks. We're likely going to this area of like 1.4 to 1.2 cents next. I got nothing else. Again, maybe a little bit of a drop first and then up. We don't have to drop. Maybe we just pump. Don't hold your breath over that. But I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.